explains.
Now to contagion fears as Greece inches closer to default, at least according to the markets. We're taking a look at the market's perspective. Gemma Godfrey is head of research at Credo Capital in London, which has $1.3 billion in assets under management. She's also the chairman of the firm's chairman of the investment committee. Good to see you.
Thank you very much for having me on.
We spent our last segment talking about domestic issues here in the United States when it comes to the markets. Now we're going to talk about Europe. Why is Europe higher this morning? Why has it been higher over the last couple of days? What do you think?
I mean, it's a bit of more of a relief bounce back on the back of speculation. It's on the back of the speculation that they're going to be extending Europe's rescue fund to basically bail out all the banks. So people are buying into the banks. I mean, we've seen over the last 3 days, let's say BNP Paribas, let's say SocGen, I mean, they've been increasing by about a third in 3 days alone. And obviously the view is that they'll come out, they'll have enough firepower behind them to be able to save these banks.
So they are. So it seems that the markets are saying, yeah, we know Germany keeps saying no, 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 but remember they got to vote on the 29th, and once they get that vote for the expansion, et cetera, they get that out of the way, then we can move forward. Is that the narrative that they're thinking?
That's the narrative that the traders are thinking, which I think is a little bit misled, which is why it's being driven by sentiment as opposed to fundamentals, because there are still 3 issues to overcome before anything gets passed. First of all, politically, things are getting tougher. You talked about Germany. Well, 75% of the German population oppose increasing any form of funding. Secondly, implementation-wise, you know, how are they going to implement it? How are they going to structure it so that the strong countries don't have their credit ratings removed or brought down a notch? And finally, it's not actually tackling the root of the problem, which is how do countries regain their competitiveness and boost growth to be able to grow out of this problem?
Yeah, well, the third is a long-term problem. The first 2 are immediate at this point. You can't resolve them.
So you're like burying the lead here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, this woman is a quantum physicist by background.
Right.
I mean, that's like, so tell us, I mean, are you using this quantum physics in investing here? That's what I want to know.
She's got algorithms.
Look, it's the skills that you learn, and to be honest, sometimes in the markets, things just don't make sense. And obviously, quantum physics, the root of it, doesn't always make logical sense.
Like the German position on leveraging the ESFS, it could be in 2 places at one time, right?
Just like light can be both a particle and a wave.
And also, if you look at it, you can use Einstein's quote. Einstein said you cannot solve a problem with the same type of thinking that caused it. And here, they're trying to use debt to solve a problem of debt.
But I thought Einstein was just discredited just this week with this whole light situation, right? Am I wrong on that?
Can things travel faster than the speed of light? Do you believe that?
Well, that would mean that you'd have to travel back in time. And also, it might be down to a systematic error.
But the EU may need to do that, right?
Gemma, how quick are the trades from Credo? Are your trades, your round-trip trades, at the speed of light yet?
Oh, you know, getting there, obviously. We're trying to react to the markets as quickly as we can, but at the same time, trying to maintain a long-term perspective as well, because sometimes you can get swept up in the momentum.
All right, give us your outlook here. Does Europe fall apart?
Oh, God, I mean, that's the, was it, €3 trillion question? I mean, in however many years' time, the constituents of the euro, you know, will they look the same as they do now? You know, we're not certain. I mean, the point is that Greece cannot afford, you know, to meet its obligations, no matter what the PN says yesterday. You know, they're looking at no longer being able to meet salaries and pension payments post-October 2010, so, sorry, the 10th of October of this year. So, you know, something does need to be done, but obviously you've got these hurdles that are in the way. So if we bring this back to, you know, what about the markets? It means that there are so many macro shocks still on the horizon that produce a downside risk to markets. However, as you've seen from obviously the buying over the last few days, bargain hunters that are desperately searching for yield are going to use falls in the market to come back in to try and get yield, which means they're providing a certain level of support to the markets. So until we see a long-term solution, a clarity return to the markets, we're in for basically a bumpy ride.
How seriously are you taking the FT story this morning that 7 of the 17 members are asking about reopening the haircut on the Greek bonds?
Well, I mean, this is a prime example of how we're so far away from any consensus. You've obviously got, you know, Germany on one side and the Netherlands that wants private investors to also partake in a lot of this pain, basically, and go in for a heftier haircut. And then you have France on the other side and the ECB that says, you know, if you do reopen this, you could then start, it could spark another market meltdown. So, again, they're kicking the can further down the road and they're trying to wait till further discussions come out and, you know, it's all just delaying the process.
Gemma, good to see you this morning. Thanks for being a pal and playing along with our physics, quantum physics jokes, real gutbusters there.
The trouble is we have this delay, right? I mean, we're talking about the speed of light, and we have a delay in the satellite.
But I think Einstein was discredited. I don't know. Well, we don't know the answer.
But she was using another Einstein idea, which is you can't use the problem to solve the problem.
Right, but if you could go back in time, then you could solve the problem.
Imagine you're trading. How good that would be.
Comments, questions about anything you see here on Squawk Box, email us at squawk@cnbc.com. Coming up, science.